Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Swimmer Think. I can't speak today. Swimmer Sync 26. So, Alias is half asleep and I can't speak, so we're gonna combine on this, and we're gonna be one good commentator.
Mom said it's my turn on the brain cell.
You are correct. Sorry about that, everyone. We had an internet issue, but we're gonna hop in right into this grand finals, which is Naval Gaming, which we just saw previously, versus Krakens, which I approved the name.
Yeah. These are your people, Kraken.
Yes and no, but yeah.
They're your people, not your team.
They are, I do a lot for the Australian scene too. We got some. It's good to see some Australian representation here in SOS, and on top of that, mind you, they are in grand finals of the best bracket here. Slight bias, but it's best bracket here. And here we go, Chomper trying to get some work done here on that junior. And right now they're just kind of slowly being pushed back here on this map, which we did not mention, which is going to be Starfish main stage on top.
Yeah, Chomper actually going to go down right now. 2 down on both teams as Krakens take the tower again, pushing it just a tiny bit further. Nawal actually does go down 3 players. I think that might have been a delayed wipe, as Krakens is trying to take advantage of this, but can't really find the opportunity. I can't tell. Oh, that is a Dynamo. That's the, I forget what it is. It's just the gold Dynamo, right?
Yeah, that is the gold Dynamo roller with the, it's a gold Dynamo roller with a bomb and a armor.
Yeah, so Kraken's actually running a double armor set along with the Inkjet from the Nautilus and the Burst Bomb launcher from the Soda Slosher. And it seems like it's working out for them. Kraken's already jumping out to a very sizable lead, working on that second checkpoint right now. Dynamo trying to find a way to push through this checkpoint, gonna get some help from the Nautilus as their NZAP goes down. And Kraken's just looking very, very strong, not letting Nawal actually get back into the game and the defense. Chomper trying to find some way to pick them off from above, but Kraken's not allowing it. Finally, though, Nawal's going to start driving the Krakens back, and with just the Inkjet left, it's looking like this is going to go at least back to somewhat of a neutral position.
Alrighty here, finally going down. That Inkjet on landing gets swarmed by 4 members there. It's quite difficult to live. Even getting a trade is difficult, and they were unable to in that instance. And look, this tower is going to finally get back to neutral. That took like 20 seconds, of course, because tower is quite slow to move to neutral. And that gave so much time for Krakens to get back in and actually set up a decent defense position and start building up their specials. We can see that multiple specials are getting close to being ready. But they're not going to be ready if 2 members go down. This second checkpoint is this first checkpoint, excuse me, is probably going to fall here. And it does. The question is, can this second checkpoint fall? Because that second checkpoint is quite a choke point and quite difficult for the team on offense to get past, and in this instance, it looks like they're not even going to make it to that second checkpoint, I guess.
Yeah, there was only 1 player left alive on the Krakens, and it happened to be their NZAP, which was coming around on a flank. So the flanking player was actually able to do just enough there to stop the push coming out from Nawal, as Kraken's right back on the offensive. They do lose a player early, Inkjet going to be popped. I don't know if this push is going to do much, but right now it's burning time, and that's about all you can ask for your Krakens right now. Only 1:45 left in the game, and if you can just hold on to the tower as long as possible, not give Nawal a chance to actually retake it, you can put them under some serious time pressure. But just like that, Nawal going to fight their way back into it. 3 players alive on both sides. Tower does get lost, so it will start to reset to neutral, as Liam does go down to the Soda Slosher. Krakens have a man advantage, but I'm not sure what they can do with it right now.
Big thing is, right, they're really getting that paint going, and they see the bomb rush coming to try to clear up that top area, and it does successfully push them back, but it doesn't seem to completely stop the push. And with 1 down at each side, I think this push is going to be slowed down, especially with the Booyah Bomb and another member going out and one jumping out. So I think this push is probably dead for now. The big thing is it ate up a lot of time. I mean, think of all the time it takes for the tower to get there, and, you know, they were slowly pushing it. And now all this time that it has to go back to go to neutral again, you know, another 10 seconds basically to get back to neutral. It's so much time wasted, and that's just so much time that leaves it to so little time for Nawal to push forward. And looks like, though, they are going to be able to successfully get those specials and start using them with about 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, NZAP flank almost works again, slows it down for a while. Nawal does have a lot of specials available right now. Ink Armor going to be popped along with the Splashdown right now. Remix and Nautilus both have their specials online as well. So Nawal could be presented with a solid opportunity right now. They gotta find a way to deal with this pressure from the Dynamo, however, as the Dynamo can just set up in a very good position right here, combining with the Soda Slosher to make life miserable for the Tower Riders right there. And with 3 down on the side of Nawal Gaming, it's looking like this game will go to Krakens, and it does. They take round 1 of Grand Finals.
Wow, I mean, you were saying what they were gonna do, and it just came right there. You saw the Dynamo shooting from that top, from their defending side there, Krakens from the top right, and then the Slosher coming in from the left, and they just put a kind of a V shape onto the tower, hitting those people from each side until they managed to get all of them down, and they actually managed to get the wipe there. So complete wipe on Nawal, and they just were not going to be able to survive and get that checkpoint there. But we're going to go into Clam Blitz on Macomart, which is going to be a fun one to watch here. I think this is going to be hopefully another back and forth map. We kind of saw a little bit back and forth after the initial push that Krakens were made to do. What do you think they're going to be able to do on this one, Alias?
I think for the most part, the Krakens don't especially need to change up their comp that much. I can see the Dynamo working really well on Macomart, just because of it's sort of like same mentality as with a Slosher. You can get a lot of picks just by using the slants and just picking off people from areas that most other weapons wouldn't be able to do so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Dynamo again, and we do. I think that's just the same composition entirely from Krakens. And Nawal also rocking a very similar composition, going for double armor this time with both the Junior and the NZAP. And already, it's just breaking out into a vicious fight in neutral.
Alright, here we go. We see the NZAP coming out with the Suction Bomb, able to get one, but going to go down as well, and actually their entire team goes down. But the big thing is, it's only one member left. That one member, though, allows for jump-ins, and it allows for a little additional paint for your team. So as much as it's just a 1v0, that's huge. You know, that really gives your team a seed there to kind of build forward and hold that middle area that the other team doesn't have. And we can already see that they have over 19 clams ready, including that power clam that they weren't holding at that exact moment. But we see the NZAP coming around the one side. We see up the middle comes another one. Multiple balls are made. There comes a score. Yes, 20 points on the board for Nawal. Trying to score more, but that will not happen with multiple members going down by Kraken members. Good job there. Well, they were able to score a couple extra of it, a little sneakily there, but not as much as you think they would be able to score in that position with as many clams as they had.
Yeah, it was a really good position from the two members of Nawal that actually forced that flank and dunked the clam, but Krakens were able to shut down the other couple of members, and because of that, Nawal didn't really have a good opportunity to push forward again. Perks popping the Burst Bomb Launcher, trying to just give themselves a little bit more of an escape route, as they're under heavy fire right now. Ray trying to find a way to get this power clam in, trying to win this 1v1 before they do anything, and it will eventually just settle for dunking the clam before they go down, as Krakens try and get a push of their own going, but with only the Dynamo and the Nautilus left up, that's not going to be enough to actually push in. And just like that, Nawal in a good position again. Chomper with this power clam might do something with it, but instead just opting to wait, maybe just trying to get armor. NZAP goes down, as we're sort of just back in this neutral game that we've seen a lot from these two teams.
With the Krakens, though, they had an opportunity to score more. The Dynamo opting to fall back and try to stay alive. The big thing is they got to a good position, but their opponents here just pushed forward on them. And so them not scoring actually was more detrimental because they still went down in the end. So they didn't end up gaining anything from backing up. So scoring, 2 or 3 clams would have been huge. That would have almost brought them to a tie. And right now they would have the lead instead of just being down by 2 points, which is pretty easy. You can get one little clam in. If the Dynamo goes for it this time, and they do have their teammate managing to do that, the NZAP coming in, able to give them a small lead. The question is, will that hold? Because there was a complete wipe.
Yeah, with that lead coming at the cost of a team wipe, Naywal's going to be able to just take it almost right back, tying it up right now, but they do have 2 power clams up, as Kraken's just trying to hold off on their basket. A lot of yellow in the area, but they will manage to hold them off successfully. Naywal being pushed back to 65 points instead of 64, and Kraken's managing to hang on to lead by the skin of their teeth, as we're just back in this very bloody neutral. Already 3 players going down, combined on both teams, as they're just trying to find another opening, trying to give themselves either a larger lead or take lead back entirely. Shockwave going to find a power clam, and just like that, Krakens, they finally cash in on the opportunity, going to start dunking some clams. They do have a couple more at the ready, going to opt to just throw them in right now instead of trying to hold the basket open just because of the danger presented by the Naywal players. But Krakens establishing a very solid lead right now, as well as just trying to be a nuisance. Again, just stalling out Naywal as long as possible by tying them up in 1v1s where they can't establish the push that they want to.
You are right. And on top of that, big note from last push, they fell back with 2 power clams. They both died. I kind of talked about the Dynamo for Krakens. 2 players of Naywal with the power clams did the same thing, and they didn't score them. They both went down. So that was a huge loss of points here. But the big thing is they're going to score a ton of points, and they are going to be able to get the lead here with 18 seconds left. Though they went 3 down. This is an opportunity for Kraken to try to push back here and get that match control. They're going to have to do it in overtime. They're going to have that power clam. That is a pity to assist with that. But now it's come down to 1 push. Can Kraken push right here in overtime, or are they going to go down? They have enough clams to do it. The question is, can they get past Naywal's defenses?
Yeah, Hertz found themselves in just a really unfortunate position. Dynamo does go down, as Ray trying to find an opening. Both power clams dead in the water right now, and Naywal looking like they are going to take game 2. But Krakens burst open the barrier at the last second. Hertz is the only one able to do something right now. Ray jumping in. They won't find anything. The Nautilus is too far back. And Krakens with a valiant effort at the end, but Naywal taking game 2 of Grand Finals.
You are right. That was such a close one. I mean, just a little... This is one of the 3 times I could have said, if you hesitated actually a second longer, I think they would have been okay. They got a little bit too fast on that one, and it actually cost them. But a strong comeback from Naywal here, able to take this one and make the set 1-1. So, neutralizing their loss there in that tower control Starfish main stage game. We're going to be heading to a fun one in Rainmaker Clam Belly's Black Belt part.
Here, you can have your...
We're all having fun here.
Turn on the brain cell now.
Yes, thank you for the brain cell, Alias. We're going to go to Rainmaker on Black Belly Skate Park. And what do you think about this map, Alias?
This is one that I personally don't like. I'm not a fan of Black Belly, but I'm fairly certain that a good portion of that is just me being a dualies player. I find it really... it's a really tight map to play on, and just not knowing where I'm going to end up with rolling sometimes, specifically with rolling up the drop-ins, can just be a hassle. I do think that Rainmaker is a really solid game mode for this one. There's just a lot of variety with how you can approach Rainmaker on Black Belly Skate Park. I do think that we're probably going to see the Stingray. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch in Dynamo to the one that has... There is a Dynamo that has a Stingray, right?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
The silver Dynamo will have the Stingray.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that, but at the same time, it didn't look like the Dynamo was... It looked more like the Dynamo was just playing more of a kill-focused backline as opposed to, a special-focused backline. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a C-Jet coming out from either team as well. It's just a really good weapon on this map.
I could really see the Dynamo switching. I think the way you're kind of talking about playing, I think it would work here. But they're gonna go with the Golden Dynamo in this one, and we're gonna have a Carbon coming out here. So a lot more of an aggressive comp from the Krakens, and that fits the way that this mode is made. So it makes a lot of sense here. Liam with the helicopter moments and threw me off. Wasn't expecting that, but that's a way to get those specials really quickly. And you can see them already popping one, but unable to get anything out of that inkjet.
Yeah, they're just going to take the Rainmaker and start running. The Dynamo trailing behind them. Chomper trying to just push up as much as possible, clear the way out for Liam, but Kraken's able to take out 3 of the members of Naywall. Only the C-Jet left. If they can't get the Ray up, this could be bad for Naywall. However, they will just retreat, managing to stay alive, save the chance at a Ray. As Kraken starts to push up, they're going up the alley, but it looks like it's just the one player. And just like that, Kraken's going 3 down. Naywall again with a strong opportunity, and they're going to try and take advantage of it right now. Splashdown getting popped. Good ink coverage for the Rainmaker. Stingray actually coming out on offense this time, as Naywall does find a pick on the Dynamo, as well as looking for another one on the Carbon. Naywall struggling to push up right now. One of their players does go down. The Carbon's actually going to die right there, and unfortunately, Naywall does get wiped. Just an unfortunate bomb placement right there. Kansas Sloshing Machine walking right into it by mistake. So now Krakens with their first really solid opportunity to push forward. Missiles coming out, and it's looking like Krakens might be able to do a little bit more with this push. Again, opting to... it looked like they were going to start in the alley, but I think they switched at the last second.
Yeah, wow. I mean, just to point out, that machine was doing so much work in that push. The big thing is this is an opportunity to push forward. Just denied by that last member of the live. I believe that was the Junior. Man, if that Junior did not do that, that was an easy push to maybe, 12, 10 before there's any response here. And, smartly that Carbon waits for their teammate to flank around and gets the pincer. And that is down to 8 remaining. The Ray just saving it. And it's just the one player left. So I think this push is going to be a little bit dead in the water here with about 2.5 remaining. Naywall here has to go almost the entire length of the field if they wish to win this map. But luckily for them, it is Black Belly Skate Park, and no lead is really safe unless you get a KO on this one.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you're never going to not hear on Rainmaker Black Valley Skate Park, as Naywall tries to force their way in. Airday going to get a pick on Shockwave with the Burst Bomb C-Jet combo. Looks like they don't want to pick up the Rainmaker, especially since they have the Stingray at the ready. Just a 3v3 right now, as C-Jet and Nautilus going to fight it out for control over center. Rainmaker does reset. I'm not sure if that's going to favor Naywall or not. It does look like they get the pick on the Rainmaker almost instantly, as Naywall just kind of all over the place right now. It doesn't look like they have an organized offensive attack going, and Kraken's just tying them up in these 1v1s again. We saw that last game on Mako Mart, and when they were tying them up in 1v1s, it was when Naywall was, or it was when Krakens were at their strongest. Almost getting the KO right there. Chomper managing to find that pick, but Naywall just not in the best position. Shockwave going to go down to Chomper as well. Perks soon to follow. So Naywall is able to reestablish themselves right now. Reestablish this defense. Let the Rainmaker reset and try and find a way of attacking. But Kraken's defense has just looked really strong this game.
Other than that first push, yeah, it really was quite strong, and really they came out of that on the defensive side quite quickly after they got wiped to hold them to 52, which is quite surprising if you ask me. Naywall, though, they just don't seem to have that offense. They had a couple members in that first push that pushed up really far, but so far they've been pretty hesitant since. And I think that's cost them a lot of points right now. The Rainmaker's going to push up the alley this time. They're going to definitely get a few additional points, at least one, but you see so many members of Kraken just kind of surrounding in this corner. but they managed to get the Carbon down, and 50 seconds remaining, plus potentially a little bit of overtime. They're going to flush them out of this corner, and all that, those missiles are going to take down the Rainmaker. Just 2 wrestlers of Naywall remaining, and it's going to be quite tough to get this pop, and they do get the pop. Can they grab it? No! They get it as it expires. A little bit of extra movement, and they would have been able to get that one. And this game will go to Krakens, and they are up on this set 2-1.
Yeah, just everybody was so clumped up that the missiles there was a really smart play by Ray on the K-shot right there. Just able to force them out of that alley, force them to do something. And that scattering was able to force the Rainmaker out of hiding, force them into just an unfortunate scenario, and force them even into even more missiles. As Kraken, again, just looking very solid. Naywall was able to find some sort of opening at the end. I think if they had more time, they might have been able to work with it. But just Kraken's looking very strong, and they're going to look to continue that dominance on Splat Zones on Wahoo World.
You are right. We're going to Splat Zones on Wahoo World, and we're going to be... what do you think they're going to choose on this one, Alias?
I don't think we're going to see much of a departure from Krakens at all. It seems like they know what they like, and they're going to stick with it. I feel like they're just going to keep playing the same 3 weapons. I'd expect to see a return to the Slosher from Perks. I think the Carbon was good, but at the same time, I think they might opt for just the more consistent output of the Slosher as far as being able to get picks on Wahoo World and just paint this very large zone in the center of the map. Yeah,
I think so too. I would like to see more of the aggressive weaponry too that we saw from Krakens in that last one. I think it kind of suits them a little bit better, and they obviously showed they can really dominate a map with that. Zones are a little more difficult to take advantage of that, but I think they should keep that into zones and then into our next one, which we are guaranteed to see, which would be the Clemblet Snapper Canal. So I'd love to see them continue to bring the aggressiveness if they want to continue to get these victories. And here we go. We're going to see what they're going to choose on this one. We're going to see Narwhal again in the yellow, and we will see Krakens in the blue. And they'll go a little bit more passive here, going back to that Junior instead of the Carbon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we saw the Junior coming out from Perks. I think they've mostly gone Soda Slosher, and then just that last game went Carbon. So, sort of a different vibe coming out from Perks. It seems like it's working out, though, for Krakens right now, as they already go up significantly. Chomper, the only player left alive, going to get this pick on the Nautilus, who is trying to snuff them out. Trying to find another pick on another player. Ink Armor coming out, but it's too late. Ray on the K-shot, able to take them out successfully. And Kraken's already in a very strong position to start Game 4.
Yeah, we see them being aggressive with it. That's kind of what I mentioned. Be aggressive with it. This team is going to excel a little bit more when they're aggressive. But the big thing is, in that second game that they lost, they were a little bit more passive. And then through this first one, they already managed to score 56 points in the first minute. And I think that's quite a successful start here. They, of course, love to get more, but the flank from the side able to cap the zone away from the members of Krakens before they could respond. But hey, you know what? They're going to be able to take that back here with about 50 seconds lost in time.
Ray getting snuffed out by the remix looked like it might have been able to hurt Krakens, but they do get the pick on the remix in the end. Naywall just in a poor position. And one thing I'd like to point out is Krakens have 2 Ink Armors and then 2 specials that might not especially be the best at taking the zone with the missiles and the Inkjet, but they're certainly going to do a great job at keeping Naywall from actually advancing on the zone. Just 2 very aggressive specials, perfectly suiting an aggressive team, as Naywall does manage to find the zone yet again, starting to force Kraken's back a little bit more. But as I say that, Kraken's able to neutralize the zone while Naywall had their backs turned.
Yeah, I think that's huge here. And oh, we see a big push up by Krakens again, pushing back Naywall. They just can't get any sort of forward positioning. And if they can get that, their comp is built for holding. The problem is they have not been able to push up on it beyond just capping the zone for a little bit of time, eating through their penalty, and then bam, just like what happened there. 2 members go down, and now they're going to lose control of the zone, most likely again, and members of Krakens are going to continue to jump back in, and most likely at least neutralize the zone for an extended period of time.
Yep. 3 down on each team right now. Kraken's still with an Ink Armor to use. Meanwhile, Maywell's Splattershot Jr. did go down in that trade. So, Kraken's just, again, have a very solid position to work with right now as Aizen looks to get a pick on this one member of Kraken's. Going to just have to be forced to splash down. It does look like they get the pick in the end. However, Naywell just still struggling for answers as Kraken's... Every time it looks like Naywell has been able to recap the zone, it looks like Kraken have just been able to force their way right back into it. They're not even, using their specials as much. We do see the missiles coming out right here, but they're not going to do as much, as Naywell finally has a chance to work through their penalty points and actually start to advance. It looks like they might actually be able to take lead here, as the Kraken's just not in a good position. Naywell does manage to take the lead, and if they can hold on to it, they will be able to equalize the score right now, force, at the very least, a game 6. And with the Booyah Bomb coming out, it's looking like they might be able to neutralize it. Liam does go down to the Inkjet. Inkjet trying to find some picks, gets another one on Air Day, and just like that, Krakens has control of the zone again. Only 2 players left alive on the side of Naywell. And now it's Kraken's turn to hold on. Chomper going down as well, and Krakens through their penalty points. Do they have what it takes to actually push through? Do they have the ability to take the lead here? It looks like... I genuinely don't know.
The big thing is that with that entire push, is Naywell finally got pushed forward. I kind of mentioned that previously, is they got to hold it forward. But, oh, the zone is neutralized. Look at this. Flank to the junior. Managed to get multiple down. The big thing is, as much as they just managed to not hold the zone here, oh, they're going to be able to get their teammates in, is what I was going to say. But that's not going to happen when the Dynamo goes. He's going to jump in. It's going to go down, and the junior goes down. Just the one member of the machine managing to hold off Kraken's counter push. And with 15 seconds remaining, they have a very short amount of time to get back into this zone. And for sure, they're going to have to win this in overtime. And with them taking control of zone, they're going to have an opportunity to have this match in overtime.
Yeah, the Kraken's push, or the Kraken's comp isn't especially built for holding. As Aizen finds a crucial splat on Perch, that's 2 down on the side of Krakens. They don't have much penalty points to work with, but the Booyah Bomb going to force the retake, and Naywell taking game 4. We're going to be seeing at least 2 more games, but Kraken, this set looks like it's going to go to a game 7 if this holds up.
Yeah, I mean, every time that Krakens win, Naywell responds and wins the next game. So obviously that trend will bring us to a game 7. Of course, if that happens, Naywell will have to switch the script a little bit, or they're going to go ahead and lose this set 4-3. But, hey, nothing wrong with that. I'd love to see some 4-3 sets. Those are definitely fun to see. Those are my favorite kind of sets. We've seen many of them through the time of IPL, and of course before that, low ink. We've had some very fun and even amazing sets that maybe necessarily didn't even go 4-3, that were 3-3 or 4-2 or something like that. But anyways, this one is one of those exciting ones, and we're going to be going to Clam Blitz Snapper Canal for the next one. What do you think the key is on this map, Elias?
It's just going to be keeping up the aggression for both teams. By the time you can play defensively on this map, it's already almost too late, just with how close the baskets are to mid relative to just other Clam Blitz maps that we saw. Like, with Mako Mart, there were ways to just force your way in. It's another one of those smaller Clam Blitz maps. But with Snapper, it just feels like one wrong move could lead to a push coming in from really anywhere. There are quite a few ways to approach the basket on this map specifically. And I think whichever team is able to take advantage of those more will have a significant advantage in this game.
I definitely agree with that. And that's definitely some huge points there made. And I think here with this one, I think Kraken's comp It actually works very well for this map mode. You know, we saw how aggressive it is. So I definitely want to point that out as well. And here we go. Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. And we see a even more aggressive comp, I would say. Out of the side of Krakens, they're going to drop the backline altogether, bring the Tri-Slosher and the 52 Gal, making the Junior the most neutral weapon, midline weapon here. And they've been playing that Junior quite aggressively. While on the other side here, they managed to bring they're going to keep the back line, and it's still quite an aggressive comp there by Narwhal, but not quite as aggressive as the Kraken side. And so far, Kraken managed to get 2 members down, so first 30 seconds, I would say, is in favor of them.
Yeah, Perk's already just amassing clams right now. Booyah coming out on the side of Naywall, just forcing Krakens away from Naywall's base. Counter Booyah coming out in return, but 3 down on the side of Krakens. Aizen trying to push up, just sort of take this area for their team, maybe get some clams if needed. And Eride going to force the clam into the basket right there. Naywall with plenty of clams left. They get it all the way down to 59, but Eride's the only one left up, and it looks like they're just going to retreat, not going to try and force anything else in, just let their team respawn. Eride does go down, however, so Krakens with a chance to actually push up. They do have one of the armors ready. They're rocking a just double special comp entirely. Two ink armors, 2 Booyah bombs, and they have one of each ready at the moment if they want it. Toby might be trying to get a flank from this backside right now, but eventually just going to opt to work their way back into mid as Naywall popping the ink armor in response to the Booyah bomb, trying to find a place to go. Toby going to go down right now. Shockwave also going to go down. It looked like Kraken had an opportunity right there for a push, but Ray going to miss the throw, and just like that, that is, I don't know if that was a delayed wipe or not, but either way, Naywall in a very strong position.
You're right, they're in a very strong position, and they managed to defend Kraken's push there. They had an opportunity to score lots of clams, unsuccessfully able to score those clams. Multiple members going down, great job here by this Heavy, and that's huge. That's huge to do. And look at all these points going in. They have enough clams to bring it down to just 2 points. And actually, they find another one, and this is already a KO. Wow, the script has been flipped. And now Krakens are going to be the ones that have to respond to Naywall here. What a surprise.
It looked like Naywall just did a really good job of adapting to the Kraken's comp. It looked like on the first game it didn't look like they quite knew how to fight against it, especially with the Dynamo just setting up on Starfish. And on Blackbelly it looked just like it looked like it took them just a bit of time to actually figure things out as well. But right now, it looks like Naywall has just done a really good job of adapting, playing more aggressive than Krakens, who have already been playing super aggressive. And now Krakens needs to find an answer here on Tower Control and Anchovy.
You are correct. Yeah, they're going to have to try to answer this on Tower Control Anchovy. They did quite well in Tower Control. We saw them take the victory on Starfish main stage, and quite a dominating victory for that matter. And the big thing is it did not set the tone. You know, Naywall able to respond in Game 2 of Clamblitz Macro Mart. But of course, now Krakens are going to have to get this victory on this map here. Like I said, they dominated the last Tower Control. We're going to see what they're going to bring here. We see the Booyah Bomb again coming from the side of Naywall. And we see it looks like going to be a little more of a mixed comp from Krakens, which I think is probably the better choice with this kind of mode.
Yeah, this is a very similar comp to the one that we saw games 1 and 2. With I think the only difference being an NZAP instead of the Splattershot Junior. However, it looks like it's going to work out for them right now. Kraken's already forcing their way in a little bit. Chomper in a duel with one of the players on Krakens. Not really sure who it is. I think it might have been the NZAP. But either way, Ink Armor coming out from the Dynamo this time. Inkjet is also ready, but it looks like Shockwave is going to just sit on this tower, have a really solid position right now. Toby able to jump in after. And just like that, Kraken's already on the move yet again. Shockwave looking for a few picks. I thought they were going to turn and find the pick on the remix, but didn't quite find it in time. As this Kenza Machine going to hold down the tower for a little bit, but Kraken's able to take the second checkpoint just like that. And Maywall on the back foot yet again, finding themselves in another bad position on tower control. Perks trying to find this pick on the heavy, and they will get it. Burst Bomb Launcher coming out, going to try and clear out the remaining players. Perks does go down, only the NZAP remaining. Doesn't quite get to the third checkpoint. Will actually get it, but going down. But Kraken's pushing all the way to 19 remaining, and Maywall needs an answer desperately right here if they don't want to see a Game 7.
Wow, that's a lot of points. That's pretty hard to beat on Anchovy's tower control. And that was accomplished within the first, minute and a half of this game, just continuing to push forward. Kraken's taking out every member of Maywall that popped their head out for a long period of time. And managing to get all the way down to 19 remaining, a solid 81 points. That's pretty hard to beat, but it looks like Maywall's going to try to start to respond. But every time they start to get one down, they also go down. So we're going to kind of be in a neutral situation here. About 2.5 remaining in this game.
Yeah, it sucks for Maywall. They had to pop a couple of specials sort of as a countermeasure, but then Kraken's just responded with specials of their own, and after that, Maywall didn't really have an answer. Forced to let the push reset back to neutral, and Kraken's going on the offensive yet again. It didn't look like they were going to stay on the tower for very long, and I don't think they will. But just, again, burning time as much as possible, trying to force Maywall to come up with some sort of alternative answer. They're trying to push forward again, but it might be a little bit harder. Chomper finds a pick on Toby, but then immediately gets taken out again. And at this point, all these trades are just going to benefit the Krakens as they can stall more. Maywall on the offensive, getting to checkpoint 1, and it doesn't look like anyone from the Krakens is there to stop them. But at the same time, it does look like the Krakens will have a chance to set up on defense yet again.
Yeah, we see that defensive hold here. Perks getting another member down, and that is a complete wipe here with 1.5 minutes remaining. Look at all this paint that is going in favor of Kraken. Look how blue this map is. Blue, and that is very difficult to come back from. A lot of paint you have to make up. That means you have to basically counter wipe at this point. On top of that, the tower is moving against you here, which is going to eat up a ton of time and potentially force you to have to basically fight in overtime to get this lead. Very difficult not to be this into overtime. And though that the Dynamo here managing to take one down, but also having to fall back because of that blue bomb threat.
Yeah, it looks like the Krakens have done just a really good job of knowing when they can push in and when they don't have to. I just realized that the Dynamo player is Toby, and the last run we saw them on the Tri-Slosher, so it looks like Toby selling back into a weapon that they're more familiar with. We see one member of the Krakens jumping out for a bit. Shockwave going down as Chomper finds a good pick right there. But at the same time, a couple of members down on Maywall, and they're going to have just the same problems that they've been having pushing forward, especially with that Dynamo perched in that position right there.
You're right. That Dynamo's in such a great position. The big thing is, though, right now they're able to push up, and they have armor, and the armor is going to be able to help hold them. The big thing is they manage to get past that second checkpoint if they can stay alive, even if they have to fall back. No, they're going to do so, and that is a complete wipe. This game will be shut down in favor of Krakens, and we will see a Game 7 in this set. Best of 1, effectively, is what we're
Emergency best of 1. But
best of 1.
Kraken's just returning to the comp that served them well at the start. Again, just a relatively low kill game as far as tower control goes. I'm used to seeing a lot of kills around this level, just as teams sort of ebb and flow. But Kraken's just doing a good enough job on defense to where they knew they didn't have to push in. just getting the kills when they needed them, as opposed to going out of their way to find kills or be overly aggressive with the tower that results in them dying a lot. And just looking very solid as they go into Game 7 on flat zones on Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, and this one's a very popular choice, so this is one that both teams should be ready for, and both should have a game plan for. And if you do not have a game plan for this map mode, I'm quite surprised. It is just a very popular map. It isn't quite as popular as something like Macomar or the Reef, but it's up there usually in the top 5 maps. And so if you're not expecting this map in a tournament, you're going to be in trouble, and if either team is not ready, we're going to see a complete domination of one side or the other. But we're going to head. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I really think the aggressive comms that both teams have been trying to bring out would be very beneficial for this one as well. Because if you can get up on those plats, you can potentially lock out for a long period of time.
Yeah, I do think that the Remix might be able to take better advantage of the platform in mid than the Dynamo, but at the same time, that fall off from the Dynamo is going to be so helpful in taking control of the zone beneath them. I really don't know which one is going to have a better time with this map, but we're soon going to find out in the final game of Grand Finals. This one, for all the marbles, Naywall Gaming versus Krakens. Best of 1 Splat Zones, Inkblot Art Academy. Let's do this.
Here we go, and we see about the same comp there from the side of Krakens. We see, I think, actually the slightly different comp, because we see that NZAP coming out from the previously a Remix. So a little bit of an odd choice. I would have kept the Remix personally. It's not a bad option here. But the NZAP also provides armor and is actually a pretty solid counter to what Krakens is doing. So an understandable choice, mind you, as much as I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah, my question is, how do they deal with the Dynamo at this point? I mean, I guess they're going to be able to deal with the Dynamo right there, as Toby just finds themselves in a very odd position for a Dynamo. Erode getting a nice double on Toby and Perks, and they're going to be able to push up more. But I'm wondering, if the Dynamo gets set up, it's going to be very hard for them to dislodge them with the comp that they have, especially since the only long-range special available to them is that Inkjet from the Nautilus.
Yeah, I mean, the armor is the way you deal with it. That's what that armor is there for. It's to completely deal with that Dynamo. You know, it pretty much shuts down Dynamo, you know, unless they can hit you and knock you out of range, you know, with the knockback of the armor. They're done. They're very rarely going to survive if you're in range. And if they have to wind up a second time, that's just such a slow wind up there from the Dynamo. And you can see that Dynamo barely got a second shot off, and it should have almost went down there, managing to just survive the machine, just with great movement, and in the end still going down and not taking anyone down with them. And this is an opportunity here for Naywall to push up finally down to 50 remaining. Doing a great job here.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with the Dynamo counter. It doesn't look like they've been able to really get the positions that they've wanted, just because of how aggressive Naywall's been with where they're going. Perks trying to find a pick as the Dynamo goes down again, and Perks is actually going to go down as well. Naywall down almost to single digits, and Kraken's not really in a good position to stop them. Nautilus going down, and Naywall going to come from behind the set and take it 4-3 in Game 7. They are your swim or sink champions.
Wow, what an amazing job there by Naywall. I mean, they completely just had a great game plan. I think that switch ends up, you know, as much as I necessarily didn't agree with it, it definitely paid off. You know, that's why I could see why they did that. And it was not something that didn't make sense. And they had it completely in their game plan why and how they were going to use it. And they managed to use it perfectly. You know, only a slight issue there at the beginning of the game. And then after that, they're more or less locked out Krakens the entire rest of the game. And taking that quick KO and exclamation point on this set. But what an amazing set here by both of these teams. You know, both of these teams show they should have won this game. Just a few changes different, and we see a 4-3 for Krakens instead of Naywall here. So, again, good job by Naywall, though, getting the 4-3 victory.
Yeah. Massive props to Naywall. great job by Krakens. Definitely want to see more from them in the future. But yeah, I think we might have some ads to read off. So
yes.
if you want to handle
Yeah,
that would be greatly appreciated. I'm not used to ad reads.
Yeah, obviously,
So-
we have a couple additional tournaments. No. But
I think we're fine. Let them have their moment.
we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and shout out Testing Grounds 15, which is this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you love the action that we had today at IPL, and you want to be a part of it, definitely come to see Testing Grounds, which again is this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And each week with Testing Grounds, they're going to be changing up the format a little bit, and we'll be doing different polls on Twitter and potentially some on Discord. And so make sure to pay attention to those locations if you want to be a part of potentially what we're going to be doing each week differently with Testing Grounds. And I'm going to post a link here. If you wish to come participate in Testing Grounds, make sure to follow that link. And we also, this weekend, will also have Low Ink, which is an exciting one for
Big
everyone.
one.
If you are, yeah, and of course, it's always a fun one. I love Low Ink, and that I've been a part of Low Ink for now over 2.5 years. It's
Dang.
amazing. Yes. So Low Ink's new skill cap cutoff is Division 5 and under for Season 11. So if you are new to the community, or if you're curious whether or not you are banned from Low Ink, the baseline is Division 5 or under for Season 11. Obviously, if you've been like Division 1 in previous, so you're not going to most likely get accepted. You may apply for an exception request, but you're not going to get accepted in most instances. And of course, the format is a 2-day tournament. So even if you cannot participate, make sure to come watch the stream at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday and 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And yeah, we're excited for both of those. And the last thing I want to shout out is we have ourselves the STAP applications for IPL. They are open as well. So if you are interested in being, here on the microphone, if you're here, if you want to help out in production, or if you want to help out potentially in TOing, make sure to follow the link that I'm about to post here, which is iplabs.inc/help us. So yeah, Alias, where can people find you?
Well, I think we actually have a couple more ads before we get into that. We got to shout out our friends at Squid Junction. Actually, Squid Junction is a double elimination tournament that offers a counterpicking format. They offer a quality stream and a mix of experience and amateur TOs. So just a lot of just a good place to go if you're either looking for a good experience in the scene, either newer players or maybe some veterans alike. Their 6th installment is this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time now. That is, again, this Sunday, April 25th, and they hope to see you there. In addition, we also have Triton Cup from... Oh, okay, never mind. We're going to save those for Friday. I think I am going to shout out Triton Cup real quick, just because I'm fairly certain that is this Friday. Triton Cup 5 is this Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Summertime. Dapple Productions' premier bi-weekly event. It's double elimination, and we'll also be featuring a prize of €50. So if you're in the European scene, maybe look into that as well. If you're in the North American scene, it's still a viable option as well. I think it starts at, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm fairly certain that that's around 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So a viable option for North American teams if you maybe have the day off from school or something. There is a challenge link somewhere. I think I can post that in chat. Or you got it?
Yep, sure do. Or
you can just join their Discord. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for ads tonight. But yeah.
All right, Alias, where can the people find you?
I do have a Twitter. I never use it. It's at alias_handle. You can follow me there if you're so inclined. If not, I'm apparently just literally everywhere at this point. So you can probably find me just lurking in a server near you. Kraken, what about you?
You can find me at Kraken_Mayor on Twitter, or obviously in chat. You can find me on Twitch, raging always, because, can't get my name. So I use my old name from years ago. Anyways, I think that's everything for tonight. Great. Congratulations to Nawal Gaming here, managing to get the victory in SOS 26. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. I think we have the next week off here for SOS. We will see you in the first week of May.